Hey, what's up, everybody? We got Jo Jo Capone in the house and the homie Mark, man, from the Grimy League, man, representing the Shy, the Windy City. What's cracking, fellas?
Man, what's good? What's good?
Oh, man, what's the temperature like out there in the Shy right now?
Man, it's about a hot 35, 40.
About a hot 35, 40, man.
Yeah.
What's cracking? Man, what else is going on out there in the city right about now? How's everybody handling this quarantine?
I'm gonna speak on it first, JoJo. Well, from my standpoint, man, you know, we the hot spot right now, and we ain't never dealt with nothing like this. So, you know, the city is at an all-time, you know what I'm saying, frenzy right now. It's like, okay, what do we do? But still trying to do what they do. So it makes it kind of rough. But activities, no, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure, man. How's everybody like? How is everybody handling like those? Is people abiding by the quarantine and everything like that, or are they staying in the house?
For the most part, no, man. That's why Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, trying to really enforce it a little more, because they just ain't listening. They still out trying to, you know, she calling it, you know, lollygagging. She don't care about you coming out walking your dog and all that, but it's the lollygagging part that turns into something else, and you know, ended up turns it into, you know, some type of party or a gathering that, you know, she just totally against. So, you know, they gonna enforce it, you know, a little harder. So, you know, they gonna say they gonna, you know, lock some people up, but they definitely ain't trying to do that. But, you know, she definitely enforcing it though.
Well, man, sometimes though, man, that's the way to do things, man. Because right about now, man, this thing's serious, man. I don't know a couple of people that don't have people that checked out and everything else, man. You know?
Yeah, it's a tragic situation, and you know, people do need to understand that it's serious. I ain't gonna lie, I took it for a joke because I thought it, you know, when it first hit, niggas was talking about, all right, man, just for rich people. You know, Tom Hanks and niggas like that was getting it. It was like, oh man, shit for rich niggas. But you know, it came close to home though. A few of my people didn't suffer from it, and you know, it ain't been no losses on my end. It's been close to me, but it came close. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just like, all right, now I need to tighten up and get things in order, you know, in my household.
For sure, man. So tell me, man, you know, y'all the latest, man, acquisitions, man, do a partnership, man, with Digital Soapbox, man, and y'all coming with the Grimy League, man. Tell me what the Grimy League is about.
I mean, we so official with it, you know what I'm saying? And an official just meaning we've been around for a while to see, you know, the city unfold to what it is, you know, way before the YouTube era. You know, me and JoJo was doing, you know, the DVDs and, you know, really, you know, attacking this media thing, you know what I'm saying, in such a way, you know, like I said, before the internet, before that whole thing, you know what I'm saying, start popping off, we was already in the streets with it, you know, really putting out content and really, you know, keeping the city like on new fashions and, you know, who next to blow and, you know what I'm saying, you know, the global gangsters. So it was that whole era that we had, you know, that influence in the streets, and JoJo, you know, put that work in to solidify, you know what I'm saying, Chicago in such a way, you know, where they knew, okay, when they heard Jo Jo Capone, they already knew, all right, well, you know, the Capone, you know what I'm saying, that whole little thing just trickled off, you know, into other cities to where they knew, all right, when they came to Chicago, they gonna have to check in with Jo Jo Capone. So
yeah, JoJo is definitely a factor, man. JoJo's name been ringing bells. You know, even out here on the West Coast, his name rings bells as a person, you know, of respect and everything. But you know, the thing is, man, it's one thing to be feared, and it's another thing to be loved too. Jo Jo Capone is both feared and loved.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying?
And respected.
Yeah, well respected, and that's where the love comes in, that because it's a respect thing too. You know, like I ain't never heard nothing faulty on his name or nothing like that, which is why I was glad to, you know, be in business with y'all. What do you think the incident is, man, that first brought your reputation to rise?
I mean, to be honest, I just always been me. So, and you know, it's kind of like, how do you get your nickname? You know, your nicknames basically come from your parents, grandmama, or you know, and whatever they see fit for you at that moment, it just travels. You know what I'm saying? It either gonna stick with you for the rest of your life. And that's basically how it was for me, you know. And then being here from Chicago, you know, I guess the way I moved and done business, you know, I wasn't no pushover. So it gave them the likes of Al Capone. So that's the way we gonna call you Jo Jo Capone. You know what I'm saying? I fought for the city just like he fought for the city in his time. You know what I'm saying? So it is a lot of people that was before me that was trading us in. They wasn't, it was just for their better gain. They wasn't trying to, you know, be fair with everybody. And I always fought to be fair with everybody, you know, and led by example, which they didn't do for me. They might was in position, but they wasn't leading by example. You know what I'm saying? Because if they was, we'll be in way better positions musically, just period, with anything in this that had to do with this city. It's a lot of prominent people that came from here, you know. If we're gonna speak music, from Sam Cooke down to Shaka Khan on down, you know what I'm saying? But none of them created nothing for this city to be a staple right now today. You know, they didn't make a industry here. So that forced everybody from here to have to move to LA, New York. If you was doing music, you wanted to get close. Into today's society, you're gonna move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Right,
that strip you from your resources, you know. So it's kind of like every time one person get their foot in the door, they move. So that means you got to start all over again. So throughout my life now, I just been hitting the reset button every time. You know, you put this groundwork in to help the next person get in position. Then as soon as they get in position, they move. So so you stuck recreating all over again. Well, good thing with me and Marcus, you know, we never separated. Whether he travel, I travel, we still in cahoots. You know what I'm saying? If a situation came his way, I'm the first phone call. Situation come my way, he the first phone call. You see what I'm saying? So we can be on the same page. So even with, and the thing about it with Marcus, what I always love, we never cared for no excuses. See, I can't deal with nobody that have a lot of excuses for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like this business, it's a lot of countless nights, a lot of stuff you're going to do just off the strength. It ain't going to be no money attached. It's a lot of situations. But of course, in this day and time, like I told him, anything from this point forward, everything we do, it got to be $1 attached. We got kids to feed. We got bills to pay. So that big homie, big brother, cuzzo, all that's out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it ain't personal, it's business. So if you come into me kind of service, when it's a service and it's a business, that dollars are attached to that.
I feel you, man. And you know, as y'all all know, we in the industry, man, where sometimes those dollars slip through the person that's doing the work's hands. You know what I mean? They go to somebody else. So yeah, we definitely, man, I feel you on that, man. I've heard your name, man, in some crazy circles out here, you know, because I'm heavily connected out here in these streets, man. And I've heard your name before I even met you, you know, before Doggy hit me up. That's why when Doggy hit me up, I said, oh, most definitely, that's a done deal. So your name is definitely good out here. You know, your name is definitely good, man. And, you know, not to go too much into the stuff, man, you one of the first phone calls that people make, man, when they get their jewelry snatched, you know, and they watches come up, lifted up off their wrists and everything else like that, man. Tell me, man, have you ever been in a situation, man, to where it was something that you almost even couldn't squash?
No, none of them was nothing I couldn't squash. But it's a lot of situations that I didn't care to be involved with due to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, that's what made me start a consulting company. That's what made me start Global G Security Company. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm doing a service once again. And I have been doing that service over 20 years, being the big homie, the OG, big bro, the uncle, the cousin, and me doing that good deed for certain people wouldn't put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my table. You see what I'm saying? So now it turns to I feel like I can put a halt on the good deeds that I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I came to the point to let me put a halt on the good deeds that I do, because these guys don't know how to compensate you. They'll take your kindness for weakness you know, and use and abuse your kindness. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like they say, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So in my case, I'd rather just stay away from a lot of situations.
That's real talk, man. So you mean to tell me, man, some of them times, man, when you don't got people their property back and stuff like that, they didn't have the common sense, man, to reciprocate and slide you something?
Nope. It was just a thank you. It was like, man, I thank you. I appreciate it. Because a lot of them guys, their world was shook up and down. Because, you know, once you get exposed on this internet in any kind of way, you know, that discredits you a great deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you came in the game trying to have this tough guy persona, there's no way you should be getting smacked. It's no way you should be getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? You know, none of that should be happening if you claim to be who you are. You know,
that's real talk.
Yeah. So once your hand get exposed, then, you know, meaning, yeah, certain situations can happen to anybody. It'll be a bare minimum if you move in the right way out here.
Exactly, man. You know what, man? Let's speak on it, man. Who disappointed you the most?
I mean, every situation I gained something from it. I'm not saying I didn't, you know, I'm not saying nobody done that. I just know that a lot of guys, it was to the point where they didn't know how to compensate me. You know, people would look at you and say, oh, well, still got a big house, still got a big car, still got a lot of jewelry. So he don't need nothing from me, but I need something from him. I need him to get my jewelry back. And if Steel get their jewelry back, it's going to be like, I appreciate you, Steel. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? Because in their eyes, they don't want to disappoint you or rub you the wrong way by saying, here go $100 or here go $500. You know, just like with anything, it's a finder fee. But who is to say what that finder fee should be? You see what I'm saying? So I understand. Yeah, so I understand the confusion in the whole situation. But the offer is you know, the gesture is kind. So whatever you give, you see what I'm saying? Man, I really appreciate that. You know, or I say in some situations, if you paid $50,000 for a watch and I got you the watch back, you give up 10% for that. You throw it, here go 5,000, appreciate it. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of these guys don't know how to deal with percentages because a lot of them just start getting money. They just start getting money. So they don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of that as well. That's why I never took it personal. You see what I'm saying? That's why I never took it personal if one didn't know how to really compensate me. I just said, well, listen, this how it go. You're going to fly in this town. You're going to fly in this town. You can hire us, and we're going to make sure you're good from the airport till you get back to the airport. You feel me? Do out your whole state, but this what it's gonna cost you. Now they're gonna say, okay, cool, we sending over the wire now. Here go the contract, bam, you secure it all over the world. But now when you don't want to do that, or you do that once and take the pictures with the security company to try to fool people to feel like you moving with them at all times, and then you mess around and you get something, you run into a spider web because you're not moving right. Now you got to come back full circle. So now that's when they say you got to get taxed now. That's when you get taxed because you being hard head and you playing games with your life and you being cheap. There's no amount of money that you should withhold from yourself to keep you moving how you want to move.
Yeah, for real, man, because you know what? I know a lot of people, I don't heard certain cats say, I ain't checking in nowhere. Checking in ain't a sign of disrespect. That's just being real in these day and times. I know if I step foot in Chicago, the first phone call I'm gonna make is to you. JoJo, I'm in your city, what's cracking? Just like if you come out here, you gonna call me like I told you. When y'all come out here to do the Gangsta Chronicles, I said, I got you. Mm-hmm. That's just how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's just common sense. Because wouldn't you feel...
Now the difference from me, you know, the difference from me and others, I'm born in Chicago, raised in New York, LA, and Miami. So it's nobody that I don't know and that don't know me. And I lived in the ghettos of all these cities. So I'm not considered a visitor when I come to these places. That's why it's like my name ring the way it ring, because I probably was in your neighborhood. I just wasn't with you. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So but your brother be like, oh, that's the OG, that's big homie. Yeah, he be over here, but he be on the other side of the block. You know, or he be on down the block or around the corner. But I'm in the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So we probably just didn't cross paths at a time. But I'm a giant anywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them guys that's throwing rocks and hiding my hands when I'm in these cities.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's
my problem be when I do hit these cities, I'm wore out because I gotta come to so many neighborhoods to visit the family and the friends. You see what I'm saying? I gotta go to South Central. I gotta go to Inglewood. You know, I gotta go to Watts. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to Compton. I'm all over the city if I'm on the west. I gotta slide to Long Beach. I look up, I'm gonna be in the Bay Area. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
So
and that's how it is, man. You know, let me ask you this, man. And then I got both of y'all can answer this, man. I think, man, with these young cats today, man, and like I'm kind of like you when it comes to that JoJo, I give so many passes because these young cats really don't know no better, man. Do you think that the big homie has a big homie element kind of left the neighborhood nowadays to where people not really respecting their OGs no more?
Yeah, of course, due to the fact that some being alcoholics and drug abusers. You know, even though you can still learn a lot of game from a elder that's an alcoholic or a drug abuser because he been down that path before, but you more likely to walk past him than really sit next to him and pick his brain. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference from our generation and the generation under us. We'll still go sit next to that drunk uncle or that dope fiend uncle. We'll still sit there and, you know what I'm saying, have a general conversation with them and just try to see where they went wrong. Where these kids now, they be disrespectful. They'll walk past them, knock their liquor over. You know what I'm saying? Try to put them all on the internet and embarrass them. Look at him, you a dope fiend. Ha, ha, ha. You see what I'm saying? We was taught, with our generation was taught to respect our elders, whether they right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or indifferent or whatever they doing. These kids not the same, but it's like, who is to blame them children? Because the children that's out here now is our children. This generation is our children. So what type of parenting have we done? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
It ain't so much. Yeah, it ain't so much to blame the youth because we are their parents. So what's that telling the society about us as parents?
Right. I'm gonna touch on that. I think we didn't do our full due diligence. We did what we can, or at least what we thought. You know what I'm saying? We can do until we was kind of like not either messing with the baby mama, or we didn't got in the situation. We hustled. We got locked up. You know, we got situations going on, so we weren't able to teach like we supposed to, like in the household, and really show. You know what I'm saying? The youth the way. You know what I'm saying? Because we was lost. You know, honestly, we was lost. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, we going in and out of prison. You know, we doing what we thought was the best thing. You know, out hustling and in these streets. So, not really caring about the next generation. We was all, you know, trying to focus in on what we had going on. So, we thinking if we make, you know what I'm saying, this hustle work, we can help the generation. But it's all, you know, it ain't all about. You know, it wasn't all about us trying to help. You know what I'm saying? It's like a street nigga come in like, okay, I'm gonna try to make 50,000 and try to buy my, you know what I'm saying, my family a house. You know, but I ain't with my baby mama no more. You know, she's seeing somebody else. So it just trickled down to, you know what I'm saying, the next generation, and they end up going to stay with their grandparents, and then you know that you know, that evolves like a female trait now inside the youth. Now they doing what they want to do. They doing drugs. So now it's a harder fight back now because now he ain't finna listen to me. You know, I ain't been around like that. So I think, you know, it's us to blame at a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's sad to say that, but I mean, I'm willing to take, you know what I'm saying, responsibility for what I've done. So that's just it. That is what it is.
I noticed with this generation too, man, back in our day, man, it was kind of like frowned down upon to do drugs. And, you know, to get, you know, like, you know, I ain't talking about as far as smoking a little bit of weed, man, drinking you a little bit of Hennessy. I'm talking about the crack, the cocaine, and pills and stuff like that. We just didn't do stuff like that, man. Do you think that plays a big part today, man, these youth wilding out the way they are?
I mean, it definitely play a big part. I just think, you know, back when we coming up, you know, we was kind of like in this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna say organization to where there's certain things we couldn't do. It's certain things we was conscious of. We're not doing no drugs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep our hygiene together. We had some things to live by out here in these streets. We weren't just out running wild. This day and time, it's anything goes. They come up with a new drug, they trying it. They come up with Molly, they trying it. They come up, we couldn't do that. I don't know what kind of drug came out. We not messing with no drugs. You know what I'm saying? But some of them got lost.
And if you got caught using the drugs, you got a pumpkin head. So it was repercussions. Sir. It was that big brother, how they say, we came up under the big brother era. You know what I'm saying? To where that we had the big brothers or our OGs was active. You know what I'm saying? And they laid a blueprint that we all had to follow. And if you thought you was bigger than the mob, you got dealt with. It was simple as that. Simple. But drugs was definitely one on the checklist. That drug, rape, anything that do harm towards the community was a no-no.
Yeah, man, we just missing some of them values, man. Now let me ask you this. Let's talk about the podcast for a minute, man. You guys are big factors, man, not just in Chicago, man, but around the country. What's going down on the Grimy League podcast, man? Like what the people go get every week?
You can touch on it first, JoJo, and then I'll just
sports, entertainment, fashion, politics. We got to deal with worldly views. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We not closed-minded at all. We very diverse in a whole lot of things. So we gonna shed light on a whole lot of stuff. You know, and the good thing about it, we're able to watch other podcasts and see what we want to do different from those.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because I noticed there's a lot of cats, man, really trying to just recreate the Joe Buttons or the Drink Champs and everything. And that's what I tell people. They already got a Drink Champs. They already got a Joe Buttons. They already got a Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm. But it's the thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but this is the thing about the Grimy League podcast. The Grimy League is a league, and the league, you understand, like, we don't just give you information. We also try to help with situations because having JoJo along, he didn't been through a lot. I done been through a lot. So we trying to really, you know, give something back as well as, you know what I'm saying, giving you the news, the fashion, the do's and the don'ts. So it's more a beneficial thing than just us just doing a whole lot of rambling and talking. You feel me? So it's one of them things where it's a league of its own. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm excited for it, man. I know it's going to blow up, man. Let me, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. I know y'all being from Chicago, maybe y'all can speak on it, maybe you can't. What's going on with my man, Young Chop? Do y'all know that cat?
Yeah, definitely know him. I know JoJo know him. I mean, he's still one of ours, but I mean, I think somewhere, you know, it's a lot of little fun and little play and going on at this time because, you know, when you get on the internet right now, it's just like, all right, I'm sitting in the house. I don't got nothing else to do. He exposing what was on his mind anyway, but he wasn't going to say nothing until he got inside. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he was scared. I'm just going to say a lot of things, if we didn't go into this quarantine, he wouldn't probably be saying on the internet. You feel me? But it's going to come a time to where a lot of things he said going to come to bite him. You know what I'm saying? And that's musically in his industry. You know what I'm saying? Relationships. This is the industry built on relationships. You know, if I come into a room and I said something about JoJo and I'm trying to get a situation going on, and JoJo happen to know the main person I'm trying to get the situation, the deal sealed, that deal is not finna go down. JoJo like, nah, no, it's not finna happen. So it's just like one of them things you got to say, you know, I can't, you know, you just can't do a whole lot of rambling on people and just thinking you finna do all right in the industry that's been around way before you decided to get into. You feel me?
And that's definitely the way it works. And that's what I was looking at, because he's a talented young cat, man. And I was wondering, I was like, man, where is his manager at the time like this? Tell that dude, man, you messing up the bag, man. Chill out for a little bit. And you know,
it's bigger than that. It's like our culture has, and our culture and society deal with mental issues and mental illness. And that got brought to the attention through Meek Mill's statement, which led French Montana to say, hey, we was just together last week and it wasn't this type of energy. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and it took for Chop and his brother, that I don't like the fact that they going back and forth with each other the way they going at each other online, but for Chop to mention that prior management or something had laced his blunt, like as if they gave him a Sherm blunt or something. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying, with certain people. And then you had another producer that was around him since I think Chop probably was like 12, 13 years old. And he said that Chop always had them type of bipolar issues, where that they mother used to have to go up to school for Chop because of his behavior. So I didn't know him that far back, but I did know his mother. I did meet his mother. And Chop probably was like, if Chop 25 right now, he probably was like 17 probably when I met him. You see what I'm saying? Or it might have been younger than that. You see what I'm saying? He probably was 15 when I met him, but I met his mother and everything, and she more so was like his caretaker. So, but you know, one wouldn't have went that deep into it to think that, oh, he bipolar. Like, we didn't know about these outbreaks like that, you know, until like when Kanye went through his thing with his mother passed, Chop mother passed, his grandmother passed. So close people passed, plus with somebody spiking your blunt or whatever, you know, we don't know what that can cause. You see what I'm saying? And it triggered his receptors to where he didn't bounce back from it. You know, a lot of these guys, like we spoke, a lot of these guys was on them ecstasy pills. They weren't knowing, people don't know what's in them ecstasy pills. They drinking this syrup and this lean. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in this stuff. So I'm just gonna speak. I'm gonna speak on a point of seeing Chop himself doing an interview saying that, hey, my old manager and them spiked my blunt. So by him admitting and saying that, then whoever he then so-called disrespected, hopefully they saw that interview as well. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying, and they just let it be. You know, like how they was running around with Welv and the Great, you know, prospering off of their mental illness. You know, Welv and the Great, and what's the other little guy from Philly? What was his name? A-Town.
A-Town, yeah.
So you remember at a point in time, still, it was people managing guys that have disabilities. Mm-hmm. So, and you know what I'm saying, and they was making money off of these guys' disabilities. Like you got the BMR twins in Baltimore. It's like the little guy, he paralyzed, where he don't have, like, he got nubs for legs, you know, but these people was born like that, but he's a comedian though.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of caught up in between, because you like, well, hey, he on here cracking jokes and doing funny skits. You know, so the internet gave life to people like that, you know, that had them disabilities. So therefore, what I have learned throughout life, a person that's paralyzed in a wheelchair don't want to feel like he paralyzed. So he wants you to have that conversation, say, come on, man, walk up here to the store with me. We know he rolling to the store. You see what I'm saying? But by you saying, walk up here to the store with me, it can trigger something in him to where if his injury is to the point where if he just go through therapy, he probably can walk again. They coming with these stem cell treatments and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? If he don't have a spinal injury to where it's snapped or something, or even if it's snapped, then the stem cell things can help. You know, you got to put something in their mind. Just like if you go to the gym, you see 10, 20 people in wheelchairs in the gym. They working out. Some coming faithfully every day. It's a part of their therapy. You see what I'm saying? So it's the will of that person. So just like they got TV shows, everything is for $1 now. They got the My 500-pound wife or 1,000-pound partner and all that. They making money, or they off everything. America is obese. It's an obese city. That's why so many people sick and dying, because they so obese. Their diets is terrible, you know. And just like now with this coronavirus, it's basically a pneumonia virus. That's basically what it is. It's pneumonia.
Right.
So it attacking your lungs quick. But if you have an alkaline diet or a vegan diet, you kind of in the clear, because you don't have that extra mucus in your body that pneumonia need to stick to.
Yeah, the milk products and everything else, because I got asthma. So this
Right.
coronavirus thing scared the hell out of me. That's why I'm under the quarantine. I just told my son today, I said, man, listen, if you ain't go by the rules and I'm the thing, you can't come up in here.
Right.
That's just,
Right.
you know, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I love you to death, man, but you're not going to kill me.
Right.
You know, I'll
Right.
die for you, but I'm not going to die for you. Not like this. You know what I mean? The biggest thing, man, that I like trying to put out there, man, with Digital Soapbox, with me and Doggy Diamonds, is we bringing more of the OG perspective back to the game, man, because it's missing now. You got guys out there wilding out like the Young Chop situation, for example. To me, that was sad, because that's what I took it as, like a mental illness thing. And I was like, man, I really hope that this cat can get him some help. You feel what I mean? Because it's a serious thing.
that was my statement to him. I talk to him every day. You know what I'm saying? So, like I told him, like we was up to 4 in the morning. I said, man, carry your ass to sleep. I know he restless. He ain't getting no rest, because if I'm getting off live with him at 4 a.m. in the morning and I'm going to sleep, and then I wake up to go piss at 7:30 or 8 o'clock and he's still on there, that let me know he ain't went to sleep.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, then watching the stuff that he's doing, like I didn't allow him to tell me nothing wasn't wrong with him, because I just watched you make some tuna. You use 1 can of tuna, you pour half a bottle of fucking salt in there and a half a bottle of seasoning salt in there, and made that shit talking about you gonna put it in the refrigerator. It never went in the refrigerator. You stirred that shit up and ate it right there out the pot with some sardines on the side. So that let me know that you not sane doing something like that. And when I said that to him, he just looked and he was like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
And like my whole thing was, it's not, don't be ashamed if you gotta go check into a place, a facility that can help you or something like that, because, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna help you, you know. So that's what Kanye didn't like. When they was putting Kanye on the meds, it was making him drowsy. He was like a dope fiend, so he wasn't feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? He want to be energetic, free thinker, but when he's not on his medicine, he spiral out of control.
Yeah, man, it's a sad situation, man, and I really do hope, man. That's why I'm glad he got somebody like you in his life, man, that's gonna keep it 100 with him. And I'm pretty sure he's listening to you, bro. Even, you know, even if he seemed like he hearing you because you don't spoke that wisdom to him, man. And I just think, man, it's a lot of these cats, man. It's like it's the drugs, man. And you know what? Even because I don't do nothing, man. I don't smoke no weed. I don't drink. I don't do nothing because and I have them, and I don't knock nobody to do their thing. But I gotta have this up here. If I'm on this mission, man, on this money-making mission, I gotta have all my faculties and wit about myself.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying?
Like for me, I don't shy away from him. When I see him jumping on that live, I jump on there just so he can see my presence is there. And even though I might log off, but long as I know he see that I'm on there, you see what I'm saying? Like, what you doing? You feel me? Like, just I'm on his heels. I'm not backing away from him. And like I told him, if you need to go check in somewhere, I'll come pick you up. I'll take you. I'll sit there with you. You know, I've done this previous. I've done this before. You know what I'm saying? I got little shorties out my neighborhood that's like that. That walk around, talk to themselves. And, you know, one of the guys' nephew, you know, when we was younger, they used to say if you put Visine in somebody drink, it'll knock them out. So, you know, kids are curious. So he put too many drops of Visines in his uncle's drink, and it messed him up. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So you took a great little dude and messed him up with your curiosity. You know what I'm saying? So in Chop's situation, he's saying that somebody laced his blunt in LA. He was in LA and they probably slipped him some sherm. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't bounced back. But then when I see an interview of another producer that I know he was around longer than me, he basically said Chop always had them issues. You know what I'm saying? And his mama used to have to go up to school for him or whatever. But then when I watched the interview of his brother, it's basically like both of them having they having nervous breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? And they mama gone. The only person that was there for them like that was their mother, and she passed away. So it's like they just out here by themselves. They don't, you know what I'm saying? With no real caretakers.
Man, y'all cats are definitely, man, important to the city of Chi, man, because I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And I've been out here in Cali since '88, man. And that's just like I said earlier, man. We need it around right now, man. These little dudes are running around with no type of guidance, man. They running around reckless, man. They're killing everything that move, a lot of times for the wrong reason, for the dumbest of things, you know, because, you know, it's just certain things back in the day you would put thought into, you know what I mean? Before you just went and did it, man. These dudes is just acting off impulse now, man. And so I think, man, cats like yourself, you, Mark, the Mob Jameses of the world, man, is needed and very necessary, man, because a lot of these cats don't have daddies at home, man. A lot of these cats' daddies is dead, man. You know, this generation, they're a product of the game, kind of, because, you know, in the 80s and 90s, when we was moving and shaking and cross country and stuff like that, these is our babies. So like y'all said, these is our responsibilities right now. This is the monster we created, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the monster we created. A lot of them cats' daddies are serving federal cases right now. Ain't gonna never get out, you know what I mean? Because I got homeboys, man, that went to jail in the 90s, man, for shit that's legal now. And they still up in there, you know what I mean? No sign of coming out, man. So I definitely think, man, between the prison industrial complex, man, drugs and everything else, it really just don't mess us up as a people, man. And I really mourn for them people. Anybody out there, man, that's glorifying that stuff, man, or taking advantage of these shorties, man, y'all really need your asses whooped, man.
True story.
Yes, sir.
They really need whoopings, man. You know, and that's the thing, man. You know, and that's why I'm glad I got guys like y'all on the squad now, man, because it's definitely time to restore some order back into the chaos, man. Because these cats is going nuts, man. They're losing their minds, man. They're going nuts, moving their minds, man. So tell me, man, social media-wise, man, how can people get in touch with the Grimy League podcast? How can they get in touch with y'all, man?
Well, we relaunching the platform definitely on your network. We gonna leave it at the network for right now, and then we definitely gonna do social media, the Grimy League podcast, everything the Grimy League podcast for the most part.
For sure.
And
for sure.
We still building, young company. You know what I'm saying, and just really trying to like work the kinks out to where we get that platform to really get our fans and listeners up to where we have more more platforms going on to where they can just tune in.
Yeah, well, man, I'm gonna tell y'all, we definitely go blow it up, man, because between all of us put together, man, got like 1 million subscribers. So we definitely, man, about to do this thing right, man. Like you said earlier, JoJo, it's time to get caked up, bro. Yeah. No doing nothing for free. We partnered up with a company called Notorious, man, that sells all our content, man. And they do a really big job, man. Shout out to Raycon, who just came aboard, man, as sponsors. And everybody else that just came aboard as sponsors this week, man. So it's a good situation right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a good situation. Sir. It's a good situation right now. So there y'all have it, man.
We're after this conversation right here, we're gonna get on top of the Grimy League podcast, Instagram page, and Facebook page, and YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? We can get on top of that today. And you know, Marcus handles and has all of the content, so he can put up clips, you know, on the YouTube page, whereas that him or myself can utilize both pages or whatever. You know, he can run the YouTube channel and I can deal with the Facebook and the Instagram page. But you know what I'm saying, we gonna split that up and handle that. So we'll have that done after we hang up from you.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely got to get on the phone after this, man. Actually, we go check out of this right now, people. I'll holler at y'all. Grimy League.
All right,
Make
appreciate
sure
you,
y'all
family.
check it out. For sure. Coming soon. Grimy League.
Yes, sir. Love.